Hey Mets fans, welcome back to the channel, and today we will be taking a look at the New York Mets and their approach to 2020 MLB free agency and how they are definitely looking to add at least one, if not more, starting pitchers to the rotation going into the 2021 season, and how they have shown plenty interest over the past couple weeks in 30-year-old right-handed pitcher Jake Odorizzi. And what has happened over the past couple hours in particular through SNY among other reports is that Odorizzi is getting close, heating up to finalizing a multi-year deal most likely with one of the 7 teams that have shown interest in him, and the Mets are one of them. So that's what we'll be breaking down in today's video: who Jake Odorizzi is, everything there is to know about him, the impact that he would have on the Mets lineup should they sign him, and why exactly he would be a very strong fit for the New York Mets in the back of the rotation, and everything in between. And as always guys, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you end up enjoying this kind of Mets content and if you want to see more. But without further ado, let's get right into this video. Here we have 30-year-old right-hand pitcher in Jake Odorizzi. At a solid 6'2", 190 pounds, the former first-round pick back in 2008 by the Milwaukee Brewers has really stood out the past 3 years with the Minnesota Twins, helping them to some great regular seasons and some strong playoff bursts. And in 2019 is where he had his career-high season, but in 2020 in a shortened season and also due to injury, he only had 4 games played, 13.2 innings pitched, 0 wins, 1 loss, a 1.39 whip, 12 strikeouts, a K per 9 of 7.9 and a walks per 9 of 1.98 and a ERA of 6.59. But again, don't put much stock into it. It is mainly because of his injuries. And in 2019, in 30 games played and 159 innings pitched, he had a total of 15 wins, 7 losses, an ERA of 3.51, a total of 178 strikeouts, a 1.21 whip, a 10.08 K per 9, and a total of 3 walks per 9. Really solid. And then if you look at his career totals to date over the past 8+ seasons, in 195 games played, he has had 62 wins, 56 losses, a 3.92 career ERA, which is solid, a 9.95 strikeouts, just under 1,000, and a total of 1.24 whip. And when you look at Odorizzi's command currently, he's dealing with around 5 pitches in his arsenal, including his 4-seam, which tops out around 93 miles per hour, his split finger, which goes around 85 miles per hour, his slider, which goes around 84 miles per hour, his cutter, which goes around 89 miles per hour, and his curveball that goes around 73 miles per hour. And the main pitches that have really been the key to his success back in the 2019 season, at least when it came to his strikeouts, were his 4-seamer, his split finger, and his cutter. Those were by far his best. His 4-seamer he had over 120 strikeouts with in the 2019 season, and then the other 2 he varied between 20 and 30 strikeouts apiece among those other pitches. But those are his key 3 when it comes to strikeouts. He really has some great off-speed stuff and really could bring a huge element to the Mets in this rotation. As we know, they've shown plenty interest in him, and originally around December 7th, I believe, through SNY, they reported that things were dying down and Mets weren't necessarily looking like a front runner. So time will tell if that holds true or not, but I know the Mets have definitely been showing interest. He's a guy that they've been having constant dialogue with, and he's a guy that also has familiarity with their pitching coach in Jeremy Hefner. So that'll be another get. Hefner has already done that in helping bring in guys like Trevor May that he's familiarity with, and other guys on minor league deals thus far. So we could have a guy like Odorizzi who could be that next guy that Hefner has a connection with, which is only great things that are going to happen when you have your pitching coach already having an idea or really a relationship with these pitchers. Odds are that things are going to only favor both of them and really helping command their pitchers, helping them learn some things, and really help them blossom during their time with the Mets. So Odorizzi, as we know, is looking for a multi-year deal. I'm not exactly sure as to how many years or the actual AAV we'll be looking at, but nothing that the Mets can't handle. We know this. It's just a matter of how necessarily are they prioritizing a guy like Odorizzi. Do they view Odorizzi as really that next guy in the rotation? He could be in the middle of the rotation or towards the latter half, because Odorizzi can really be your third starter for sure. Outside of having DeGrom, Stroman, there'll be Odorizzi, and then you have Peterson and the Mets. I know that they would like to try it out in the rotation, but I think that'll be a short leash for sure going into spring training and everything, so time will tell. Thor is still dealing with his injury, rehabbing from Tommy John, so he won't be ready to start the season. So the Mets are going for at least one starting pitcher, and time will tell if they say go for more than one to actually land them. But Odorizzi would really be a strong get if you ask me for the Mets. Been wanting to talk about him for a while because there has been a lot of dialogue, as I already mentioned, but really between his off-speed stuff, having a career best season just back in 2019 2019, having a shortened 2020 season because of the injuries that he endured. So I really wouldn't put much stock into his high ERA during that time. He only had a couple games played and he was out with injury. I think Odorizzi at the age of 30 in the prime of his career on a multi-year deal will not hurt the Mets by any stretch of the imagination. It would really help bring some depth into this rotation that really doesn't look like it's perfect on paper, but assuming that maybe they go for more than one guy in the rotation, or at least maybe once Thor is back in the equation, we're really going to have a great grasp as to how solid this rotation is going to be. But I think Jake would really bring a huge new element to them, would bring some veteran leadership as well in this win now stage for a guy that thrived with the Minnesota Twins, as they have done fantastic, has that familiarity with Trevor May as it is, so we can get a good grasp as to what we can expect from him from May, because I'm sure he would give plenty of insight right away should the Mets finally sign him. So it's going to be one of 7 teams, it looks like, and the Mets are one of them. We'll see if they can land him in the end, but I'm really curious if they will, and obviously if they do, I will be here to cover it and share all my initial thoughts on Odorizzi, because he would be quite the get for the New York Mets as a solid middle of the pack in that rotation. But as always, guys, that's going to conclude this video, so make sure to hit like, subscribe, share, and put on that notification bell if you ended up enjoying this kind of Mets content. If you want to see more great Mets content going forward, it would really mean a lot. Make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Odorizzi is going to land in Queens with the New York Mets, or do you think he's going to land elsewhere with the other suitors that have shown interest? Plenty of teams have, including one of the more notable teams, and the Blue Jays, for instance. I believe the Angels are in there because they're obviously looking for starting pitching outside of Trevor Bauer, as we know, among others. But again, I would love to hear your thoughts. As always, it's been so much fun. I've been having a blast on this channel, and I can't thank you all enough for the overwhelming support that I've been getting here this past week. Really, it means an absolute ton. So thank you all so much again, guys. Hit like, hit subscribe, check out my previous videos right down here below, and I'll see you again next time.